Hello Norrathians, Vass here, and I am continuing with the Six Flags over Norrath theme park. And at this point, we have moved on from Kinos, and the next selection was for New Halas. So I am working on the New Halas section. I started this in the last video and I'm going to continue to work on it. Let me give you a little bit of update since the last video. I have talked to Azurite and Demora about various stones that were in the game, and the Thudos stones that you can craft were not very big. So at their max scale, they weren't very big, so they would take up quite a bit of those. I also went out to the library and bought the stones of Thudos that are on the merchant there. Tried those, and they are even smaller, just a little bit smaller, and they're flat. So let's see, do I have those? Yes. Okay, so this is the Thudos that we can craft. And this is the one that we can purchase. And that's the max scale of both. So as you see, this one's a little bit smaller than this one, the one we craft. And this one's pretty thick compared to how thin this one is. So it would take a lot more of these to actually fill in the rock work of the mountain. So I have decided against those, and I have gone with the Ethereum boulders. Those are the largest ones that I've found. They do have kind of a pointy bit to them, as you see right here, but I have been able to work around that. And I have started placing some in. Also put in some mining supports. Went over the layout with Azurite and Demora, and I think I've got a layout that will work. Added a few trees just so I could get a feel for the build. Okay, so we are going to continue with the Dwarven Mining Company, which is basically a runaway mine car coaster. I don't think I will get it finished today in the video, but if I do, I would move on to the bobsled coaster, which is going to be on the outside of the mountain, and the mining coaster is going to be on the inside. So I've got my cars here. However, they could go that way. That's fine. I've changed the way I was going to do it. Originally, I was going to come off here and go in, but I think that's going to be the final piece. And I'm going to start out here and go in. So now I just need to get the rails in place and get started on that. Okay, so let me copy this one because I know that one's the right size. And I'll go ahead and do a few of these. Basically it's 5.6, close. And it does have a little bit of a rotation. I'm curious as to what it would look like if I changed it to an exact 45 since it's so close. Of course, that means that all the mining cars need to be rotated as well. Okay, so that should be a negative 135. And that should line them up. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got these tracks stacked in the same spot. So with them at 45-degree angles, I can keep it in line by going to the northwest. So let's move one of these. And it is a scale of 5.6. To the northwest, we'll start out with 5.6. There we go. Now I do need to start having it come down, that way I can actually start going into the tunnel there. So is it going to be roll or rotate? Or pitch? It's going to be pitch. So I'll do that. Bring it down. Let's see if I can get a better view from back here. Not with the beam in the way. It's close. I just need to move it in some. So we'll save it at that pitch. Get a new from difference and move it in a little bit. Let's do 0.1. And it was northwest, so I need to go southeast. Okay. Getting there. Okay, that's too far. So let's start doing our 0.5 back the way we came. Okay, really close. Maybe a couple more of the 0.05s. And that's a little bit too far. And we'll go down. Probably too far. Nope. Okay, that's pretty close. Don't think I'm going to get it much closer. Now the bad thing is I've got to make a turn with these flat pieces. And as you already know, with the log flume, making curves with flat pieces is not easy. So let's take this one and we will move it out 5.5 northwest twice, because it was 5.6. Let's bring you down. By doing it 5.5 each time instead of the 5.6, and I did it twice because the first one would have landed there, then I saved 0.1 on each of those moves, which would have been 0.2, so it got it a little bit closer to the other one, considering that it had the pitch in it. So I've got that there. Let's save it in line, and we will do a 45-degree rotation. Let's do -45, see if the negatives get to -90. Did I do it? No. There we go. Okay, it was the wrong direction. So we'll get rid of that negative and rotate it twice. Okay, so that is the default 0, 0, and 0. So now we need to actually move it in, which is going to be to the east. We'll move it in 0.5 east. Okay, not far enough. Okay. Now the spacing is going to be a little bit off because here that spacing is going to be this spacing here is going to be different from going from the tip of this rail to the tip of that rail. As you can see, that is a longer line because of the angle. So that means I will probably have to shrink this one down, but I want to get it close to being in place first. And instead of east, I'm going to go northeast this time. Okay, that is closer. I don't like the gap. So let's start going southeast. And too far over. Okay, now let's start shrinking this down. So let's try 3. Way too small. Okay, let's try, it was at 5.6, so let's try 4.5. Okay, that's better. Let me see if I move it by hand. Yep, it's a little too big, so I'm just going to hit escape. Change it to 4. And we'll do the same thing, move it by hand. I can kind of get that to line up. Now let's see if I can get rid of that. That would work. Let's move it up. Just at the edge. There we go. Now the other thing is it's still a little high. So let's pitch it. And that might be an issue. The curves are probably going to have to be flat pieces. So we'll leave it at that. Now the mine supports that are in here, those can move around. I'm not worried about that at all. And I can get a little bit extra out of this, I think. There we go. So we've got that going. Now I could pitch this one more to get that one flat on the ground, but I think it's okay to get a first start. If I were to roll it, then pitch it. Nope, that puts it at a weird angle. Okay, let's put it back flat. So no roll. There we go. And I should have, I think, one more piece here. And line it up just above it. Now getting this to line up is not going to be easy. Because one will line up and the other one will not. Maybe I need to shrink it down a little bit. Sorry, I got quiet. I'm kind of concentrating on getting this aligned. Okay, it's a little high. So we'll just get a new from difference and lower it down 0.003. Let's try it again. I just want to be over the top one. Okay. And it can move to the northwest a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. And yes, the mining support is in the way. It's going through the track, but that is okay. We can fix that. Might, that should work. So I've got two pieces here that are kinda in the way. So let's see, if I take this one and roll it around, move it in, okay, got that one in there. And that looks pretty close. Okay, so this one is in the way, and I would like for it to go up under that. So let's see if I can move it. Just rotate it just a little bit here. There we go. Still looks like it's supporting it. A little bit high. There we go. So now we've got that one going through. And I'll be able to cap off this edge. Now the other thing that I was thinking of doing is using these as like fencing. Fencing across. And then using these. Is that the smallest they are? So I'll probably have to bury it in the ground. Well, maybe not. So it's probably going to be a pitch. No, it's actually a roll. Nice. Okay. It's probably not gonna like me putting it like this. So let's move it ourselves. And we need to go this way, so southwest. And let's put that at 45-degree angle. And we will go 3 southwest. It'll be a little high, and then we can lower it. It's a little too far out, I think. Yep. So let's go back 1 northeast. And that's pretty close to what I'm wanting. Let's do 0.5 northeast. And I want to rotate it around, and I also want to move it into that pillar. So we'll rotate 180, and it was a negative 31. Let's change it to positive 31, see if that helps. And we will move it 0.5 northwest. Okay, so if I wouldn't have changed that from negative to positive, then whenever I rotated it 180, that angle would have stayed but went the other direction, made like an X. So that's why I changed the negative to a positive. I did push it out a little bit too far, which these posts are kind of leaning, which is fine. Let's move it back in a little bit. So let's do 0.2 southeast. Okay, so that works pretty good. So now I've got this railing on the side to help. Not that it helps much. And this one I'm gonna make a little bigger and move it over. It's gonna have a little bit of gap over there, which is fine. Okay, so now that I've got this one in place, I'm going to copy that one to 2 more. And this one's got that 31 that I was working with. And then I will get rid of that point, move it 2 to the southeast, and 2 to the southeast extra on that second one. Let's see how that worked out. Pretty good. It's going to need a bit more. Let's do let's do 1 southeast, and then again that one another southeast. Okay, so this spacing is better. This one's past the beam, so I need to move them in a little bit more. So highlight those two again. And we'll do 0.1 to the northwest, and that one again, which makes that 0.2. A little bit more. We'll try 0.1 again, maybe. How far over is it? Yeah, we'll try 0.1 again. Too far. So we will go 0.05 southeast and southeast. Yes, I could hand place these, but by doing it with the layout editor, I know it's exact. So I've got the same spacing on either side of this. So I've got an entrance and an exit. Okay, so now I've got the one left, which I am going to use on this side. And this one's probably going to be pretty massive. Start sinking that down a little. Now, can I rotate this without showing the mud? I can't. But what I can do is rotate it and then bring it out some. Or I could just bring the mud in, which I might actually do. I'll do 0.5. What direction are we going? Let's do north. No, I don't like that gap there. Let's unthink that. And technically what I could do is just have this part going from there to there to cover up that edge. And rotate this one around and sink the edge in the ground a little bit. There we go. Better. Much better. I do have the snowballs not quite meeting it. I could probably tweak that a little bit. Let's see, I need it to go southwest. And I did 0.5. And that's not far enough. Do it 3 more times. There we go. And the snow is just resting on the railing. Okay, top looks good. Okay, so I've got my station built, got my track started. I would say I need to go ahead and pitch that, but might as well leave it like it is, because honestly I'm going this way and up. So if I pitch it, I'm just going to be pitching the next one back up. And I do believe that that was all the ones I copied. Maybe one more. Oh, one more. Okay, good. So we'll grab one and move it. Actually, I'm going to put that back because I will copy one of these, because I did shrink this one down a little bit to get it to fit right. I'll copy it with this one, which instead of 5.6 is 5.13. So we'll paste it there, and we will do 5.13, and I need to move northeast. Excuse me. I am going to pause it for a moment, get a drink. I'm a little thirsty. See if this mute will work. Okay, so I moved it in, and it is not quite, because my rotation is not 45 degrees, or yeah, it's not 45 degrees or 90. Maybe this will work better if it was 45. I just hand rotate it, use the mouse wheel to spin it around, so I didn't get it exactly 45 when I first started working with it. Now I can probably go back to 5.6. Come on, Vass, you can do it. Okay, let's set this at 5.6, or let's see what the scale is. It's 5.7, so let's put it at 5.6. Okay, now looking at this, since it's actually rotated around more, I might want to go out more. So let's move you out of the way a bit. I'm going to take you and copy you. Haven't gotten through my first turn yet, and I'm already using quite a bit of building blocks. But let's see. I'm at 420. Okay, so take this one, copy it there, and let's try moving it 4 to north, which will probably be wrong. Nope, actually lined up good. Okay, so now that one's in there and I can move my railing back. No, I don't want you in the track. Okay, let's move you back over here. Oh, quit popping up. There we go. And we will copy this one to that one. It should be different sizes. Yep. And move it 5.6 east. Oops, it was northeast. So we'll move it back to the west and then do northeast. Ah, wrong one. So instead of northeast, we'll move it back to southwest and east. Okay, that's back in place. So it's this one that needs to go back to the west and then northeast. There we go. And I think we should start our ascent early. Otherwise, it's going to be quite the sharp lift. Okay, you see me going into first person so I can see how high things are because I'm on a smaller tune, well, Othmere. So the only problem is if I try to grab it, sometimes it will grab moving parts within the house. I think I got lucky and it didn't this time. So I might go into first person to get a view and then switch back, scroll back out so I can move things. Okay, get a new from difference on that. So I can move it. And that was northeast, so we need to move it southwest. And that works. So now it's got the lift starting. Now I need to figure out something to use for chains. Something to go in there to use for chains. So I don't want to use the conveyor belts again for this. So I'd much rather have some kind of moving chains. But I'll think about that and come up with an idea for the chains on the lift. And I might actually need to pitch it a bit more. Move it back over. There we go. And technically there is a little bit of shimmer there where it overlaps on the edge. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just do 0.002 and move it southeast, and that'll get rid of that. Okay, so I've got the start of my lift going there. Need to add another piece. Okay, and I have quite, well, I have a 27 pitch. So instead of 5.6, let's do 5.4 to the northeast. And to up for now. And 5.4 was too far. Okay, let's do a couple of 0.2s back. Was northeast, so we want to go southwest. I move that a little bit below, that way when I move it back to the northeast it'll be higher. And that was too far, so let's go 0.1 southwest, and then I'll go up. Okay, that is pretty good. And I am getting there. That lift might need to be a little more. 27's not quite enough. Okay, what is that at? That is close to 40. Let's put it at 40. And that to me just looks like it's going to go through the ceiling, but I guess not. Man, that's a lift. I am not liking that angle. So instead of 40, let's try 35. That is a steep angle. It is a mine coaster though, so it's going to be a bit wild, or it should be. Not much I can do with EverQuest 2 as far as making a roller coaster a bit wild, but making a roller coaster is a feat within itself. It doesn't look so bad from here. Okay, let's get you at 35. Just gonna match you a bit. And start putting you over here. I'll hold down Control and Alt just so I can get little increments up. If you do Control, it's a big jump. If you do Control and Alt, it's smaller. Quit trying to go up top. There we go. It's a little off. Let's see, that would be northwest. There we go. That looks good. Looks like rails. I might need to move the tree a little bit just so I can go over. It's easier to rotate the tree a bit than it would be to move all the tracks and have them going off at non-45 degree angles, 45, 90, whichever. Be much easier to just move the tree around it. So that's probably what I'll do. But in this episode we got the station done. We've got the trains on there, which I just noticed that train is popping a wheelie. Actually, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Let's bring you back down. I didn't get a starting save, so it was going to mess up that last item I did. So now it doesn't have that in there. And we will copy the height of this one, which is already the same on that one, and paste it to that one. Apply that, and we will move all of these 0.5 to the southeast. Let's do 0.5 to southeast again. Okay, that's better. Once I put the track on there, it'll be pretty good. Ooh, I just realized that I'm gonna have to have more space there to be able to go down and through the tunnel here. And I moved that, which messed up this side, which is fine. I could always move this one in, but I need to be able to come out and around and to go back to the station. So this is not going to work. Oh, it's buried in the ground, so it's not moving for me. Let's pull it up. Now we can move it over. I still don't think that's going to be enough. But that probably would. Okay, and I could put another stone going across here to fill that in. Maybe line some more muddy tiles on the inside of the railing there to fill that part in. Okay, let's do pitch first, then roll it. And now we can rotate it around and sink it in. And that should work. Let's double check the inside. Yep, that should be good. Okay, move you over. Can move you up. Not roll. Pitch. Did that mess up the top any? No. Good. Good, that works. So I've got this one going. And that lines up pretty good. I mean, it would be nice if this and this were the same size, but I think it's going to be okay. And I don't think I need any more of those. I did not get muddy tiles. I believe I might be out, but Moonlight Enchantments is coming up, so maybe I can borrow some from Demora or Cerex and pay them back when Moonlight Enchantment comes. But I have a couple more dungeons to check just to make sure I'm not completely out before borrowing from them. And this one, can I do that, raise it up? Okay, that looks good. It's gonna start freaking out on me anytime soon. Because at first I was thinking I should fill this spot in, but now I'm thinking, no, let that stay there and like light is coming through. Maybe I could put one of the Frostfell snowdrifts up there and have it snowing and falling down in. That would be kind of cool, going in the ride and seeing the snow falling through it. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to call this the end of the video. Don't forget, we've got Halas that we're working on, but after Halas we will be going to another area. So we've got Kelethin, which will be over in this area. Don't mind the trees are there for New Halas. There won't be frosty trees over in Kelethin. We have, which I kind of gave something away just by running over here, but we've got Freeport that's going to be back here. We've got Neriac over here, and we've got Gorwin over here closer to the pond. Suggestion would be, if I start getting close to running out of item count and building blocks, an idea that I had in Neriac I could implement in another home. A portion of the Neriac I could have a house teleporter to another home and build it in that other home. I don't think it would mess up the immersion too much, because the actual item that's going in Neriac that I am talking about is the haunted house. So at the haunted house ride that will be in the Neriac section, I could always take a house portal to a Fright Manor or something like that and then build the haunted house portion in there, so when you enter the haunted house you actually enter into the other house. So, and that would save on the item count for this. So my suggestion would be to not vote on Neriac just yet, but I do I would like for everyone to go through and put in the comments which area you would like to go to after we're done with New Halas. Yes, I know I've got a lot more work to do on New Halas before it's complete, but I wanted to go ahead and get that statement made. That way people could go ahead and start putting in their thoughts as far as which area to build on next. That way I get a lot more votes to choose from as far as which city to go to. The votes for New Halas, it beat out the others by basically 1. So I would like to say for the other houses, the other portions of the park, I'd like to see a lot more people interact and give me a suggestion of where they would like me to build next, and have a lot more comments left about which area they would like to go to. Maybe put a reason why you would like to go there. But anyway, I'm going to call that the end of the video, and I will see you guys next time.